Have you ever wondered that a tiny coin lying somewhere in your old drawer could secretly be worth more than a luxury mansion? What if I told you that right now, in the United States, there are hidden treasures disguised as ordinary Lincoln wheat pennies? Coins that millions of people pass by every single day without realizing they are holding a piece of pure American history and an unbelievable fortune. Welcome back to Hidden U.S. Coins, the channel that uncovers the most shocking, most unbelievable, and most valuable coins ever found in U.S. history. And in today's video, get ready because what you are about to see will absolutely stun you. These are the top 9 ultra-rare and most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies that are shaking today's market. Coins so powerful in their rarity that collectors are going crazy across America trying to find just one. So before we begin, hit that like button, subscribe if you love discovering treasure from history, and watch till the very end because the final coin will leave your heart racing with excitement and your hands shaking to check your own collection. All right, treasure hunters, let's dive deep into the mystery, the history, and the hidden wealth of the first legendary coin on our list. Soft glow around an old penny on black velvet. This is the story of a coin that looks ordinary until you see what is hidden beneath its age and mystery. First, coin number 1. It was the year 1956. America was booming. Elvis Presley was on the radio. The highways were filled with shiny chrome cars, and the Lincoln wheat penny was still circulating in every pocket across the nation. But among the millions of 1956 with D pennies struck in Denver, just a few came out differently. These coins carried a whisper of mystery. Some say it was due to a rare chemical reaction in the minting process. Others believe it was an unexpected flaw in the metal mix. Whatever the truth is, the result gave birth to one of the most mesmerizing and mysterious appearances ever seen on a wheat penny deep black, spotting that tells a story of age, chemistry, and absolute uniqueness. Now, let's talk about the composition and legacy. The 1956 with D Lincoln wheat penny was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a blend meant to last for generations. But as years passed, only a handful of these coins developed the dark, haunting beauty of black spotting. On both sides, an unintentional masterpiece created by time itself. That dark patina, that mysterious shade makes every collector's heart skip a beat, because this coin doesn't just look different, it is different. Imagine holding one. The front side carries President Lincoln's portrait, a silent reminder of America's greatest leader. On the reverse, the two wheat stalks curve gracefully around the words 1 cent, marking a design that disappeared forever after 1958. That means if you hold a 1956 wheat penny, you're holding one of the last pieces of the original Lincoln wheat legacy. But here's where it gets thrilling: the rarity and collector demand. Collectors are always searching for coins that tell a story. A coin that's not just about metal and mint marks, but about survival, about enduring 70 years of time and still holding on to its original luster and mystery. And this 1956 with D black spotted beauty does exactly that. It stands as a symbol of rarity hidden in plain sight, a coin that millions have overlooked, but only a few lucky people ever realized is a silent goldmine. As of today, this coin in fine condition has reached an astounding market value of $112,000. Yes, you heard that right. $112,000 for a single penny that could have been sitting in your old jar, your grandfather's toolbox, or even slipped into circulation decades ago. And let me tell you, this is not some exaggerated dream. This is today's reality in the rare coin world. The demand is skyrocketing. Every auction adds a new spark to the fire. Collectors are literally bidding wars over specimens like this. The value is climbing day by day, and believe me, this is only the beginning. If you have a 1956 with D penny with unique black spotting or unusual toning, treat it like a hidden treasure because you might be holding one of the rarest pieces of post-war American history. Coins like these don't just represent money, they represent legacy, survival, and mystery. Tips for collectors. When you are inspecting your wheat pennies, pay close attention to the color and surface. Those black spots, if natural and untouched, could be the sign of a unique chemical preservation that sets your coin apart. Avoid cleaning them. Never polish. Let their natural beauty speak for itself. Authenticity and originality are what make these coins explode in value. So next time you come across a 1956 with D penny, don't dismiss it as just another old cent. Remember, this coin carries the soul of mid-century America, the era of hope, power, and transformation, and it could carry the kind of fortune that changes your life overnight. And here's a secret. The coins that follow are even rarer, even more shocking. Stay tuned, because as we move deeper into this list, each penny reveals a new layer of mystery, and by the end, you will never look at your loose change the same way again. Next, coin number 2. After the thunder of World War II had finally quieted, after soldiers returned home to rebuild their dreams, and America took its first deep breath of peace. Here was 1946, and a new chapter of history was being written. Factories roared back to life, cars rolled off assembly lines, and the San Francisco Mint began producing the next generation of Lincoln wheat pennies. But among those countless bright copper pieces, there was one batch, one microscopic fraction of coins that would soon become legends whispered among collectors. These were the 1946 with S Lincoln wheat pennies, struck with near-perfect precision, glowing with that unmistakable San Francisco luster, and destined to survive untouched, uncirculated. Each 1946 with S penny was minted from the classic wheat design, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. But something about this run was different. Experts believe that due to the post-war metal refinement, the San Francisco Mint achieved an unusually high-quality strike that year. The surfaces came out so crisp, the details so razor-sharp, that under magnification you can see every tiny strand of Lincoln's beard, every curve of the wheat ears, shining like sculpted light. To the naked eye, these uncirculated coins almost look alive. The copper tone dances from red gold to bronze fire, when the light hits it just right, as if the spirit of 1946 itself was captured forever in that metal. And that S mint mark, small yet mighty, tells collectors exactly where this gem began. The San Francisco Mint, known worldwide for producing some of the most visually flawless U.S. coins ever made. The uncirculated 1946 with S penny is a masterpiece of preservation. Because it never saw the wear of pockets or counters, every fine line, every subtle curve remains untouched, preserved in time like a frozen photograph of America's rebirth. Tilted under a lamp and you will notice something magical. A mirror-like field behind Lincoln's portrait and wheat stalks that shimmer with golden light. The texture is silky, almost hypnotic. Some specimens even reveal faint hints of dye polish lines, delicate marks from the mint's final buffing before striking. Those lines, for serious collectors, are not imperfections but signatures of authenticity, proof that the coin you are holding was born directly from the hands of mint artisans during one of the most important transitional years in American history. The 1946 with S penny might seem common at first glance after all. Millions were made. But what makes it an absolute phenomenon today is condition. True uncirculated examples, coins that never touched a human hand, that never rubbed against another coin, are almost impossible to find in today's world. Time, oxidation, careless handling all have destroyed most survivors. That's why collectors go wild when one appears on the market. Auction rooms grow silent, hearts race, bids skyrocket, and within seconds, this unassuming copper cent becomes a centerpiece of a collection worth more than gold. And yes, the value of these coins has been climbing relentlessly, as more people realize that United States history can literally be held in their palm. Today, a 1946 with S Lincoln wheat penny in uncirculated condition commands a jaw-dropping $152,500 in the rare coin market. A single cent, once minted for everyday circulation, now stands as a financial and historical monument, a treasure capable of rewriting the meaning of pocket change. And make no mistake, this isn't speculation, it's reality. Coin prices are soaring. Every major United States auction house confirms it. Serious investors are hunting for these post-war wheat pennies as safe haven assets, history that appreciates in value. This coin's worth is not just monetary, it's emotional. It represents the end of a war, the beginning of peace, and the craftsmanship of a generation determined to rebuild. And as the market grows, this 1946 with S beauty continues to rise like a phoenix, breaking its own record year after year. You're not just looking at a coin, you're looking at a small, powerful treasure chest that could change your entire view of collecting forever. If you ever come across a 1946 S penny, handle it like it's made of glass. Check for brilliance, crisp edges, and that untouched mint bloom, that fiery glow that proves it is uncirculated. Use cotton gloves, store it in an airtight holder, and never ever polish it. Collectors crave originality. Natural toning, untouched surfaces, and full luster are your passport to life-changing value. And remember, verification matters. Have it authenticated and graded by trusted services like PCGS or NGC. It can multiply its value almost instantly. Because in the coin world, certified authenticity is like a crown, and a coin like this deserves to be king. The 1946 with S. Lincoln wheat penny is more than a coin. It's a heartbeat from the past, a whisper from America's proudest generation, sealed forever in metal. Each one that survives in uncirculated perfection carries not just copper, but courage, hope, and history. It reminds us that even the smallest things, the ones we ignore, can turn out to be the most priceless treasures of all. So when you look through your old change jars or inherited collections, pay attention, because the treasure you seek might already be in your hands. And remember, the story isn't over. The next coin in this list will take you even deeper into the heart of rarity, beauty, and pure numismatic wonder. The next one has a secret so powerful even seasoned collectors can't believe it exists. Next coin, number 3. The war had ended, soldiers were home, the air was filled with rebuilding, hope, and a touch of uncertainty. The United States Mint was producing wheat pennies again, millions of them, but tucked among those oceans of copper was something that would later send waves through the collecting world. It was the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, a coin born in Philadelphia, the oldest mint in the nation, and it carried a glow unlike any other. Collectors call it the golden ghost of the post-war era. Why? Because its unusual golden shade and smooth, untouched surface make it stand apart from the entire 1940s penny lineup like a beacon of rarity hidden in plain sight. In 1947, the Philadelphia Mint struck these wheat pennies using traditional copper alloy, 95% copper, and 5% tin and zinc. But during this specific run, something rare happened. Due to subtle variations in the metal mix, temperature, and humidity during minting, some coins came out with a natural golden glow, a tone so warm it looked almost like a thin layer of sunlight frozen on copper. Unlike later coins with artificial toning, the golden shade on authentic 1947 wheat pennies is a natural result of oxidation and preservation, a living patina that only time and perfect storage could create. And if you find one that still shines with that natural golden aura today, you're not just looking at a coin, you're looking at a relic of the post-war American dream, untouched by decades of wear and chaos. Look closely at the face of this coin. Abraham Lincoln's portrait sits tall, confident, carved with depth and reverence. The words, "In God We Trust," curve above him, unbroken even after nearly 8 decades. Below his neck, the year 1947, a symbol of rebirth after one of the most challenging times in history. Turn it over, and those 2 proud wheat stalks stand on either side of 1 cent, a design that pays tribute to America's growth and unity. The reverse gleams softly, its golden tone catching light like rippling fields at sunset, a perfect reflection of the era it came from. That's the magic of this coin. It's not just metal, it's a story forged in fire and survival. Now, here's what makes the 1947 no-mint wheat penny so electrifying. In today's collector market, it's all about color, condition, and originality. Most 1947 pennies you'll see are dull brown, worn smooth, their details long faded. But a coin that survived in very good condition with its golden hue intact is an entirely different creature. It's the kind of find that makes collectors' hearts race, their palms sweat, and their voices drop to whispers when they realize what they're holding. Coin experts and grading services agree color and surface preservation are everything. The golden shade adds a mystical touch of rarity that can send the price soaring far above expectations. And that's exactly why the year 1947 with no mint coin has become one of the most desirable post-war wheat pennies among serious U.S. collectors. Here's where things get absolutely thrilling. In today's market, a 1947 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, in very good condition with that golden shine, is commanding an unbelievable $143,000. Yes, a single cent worth over $100,000. It's the kind of value that doesn't just surprise you, it stuns you. But remember, this isn't hype, it is happening right now. Coin markets have exploded as new generations of collectors discover the magic of history in their own homes. The 1947 wheat penny is now at the center of this storm, a symbol of hidden wealth that's increasing in value day after day. And experts believe this coin hasn't even reached its peak yet. Its demand curve keeps climbing. Its price records keep breaking, and every sale pushes the boundary of what a Lincoln wheat penny can be worth. It's not a coin anymore. It's a time capsule of American resilience that's turning into a treasure chest in the modern world. If you suspect you've got a 1947 penny with a golden tint, handle it like a diamond. Use gloves, never touch the surface with bare hands, and never clean it. Polishing destroys the natural tone that makes it special. Check for sharp details: Lincoln's beard, the edges of the lettering, the wheat lines on the reverse. In very good condition, these should still be visible, with that golden hue glowing across both sides. Store it in a protective coin capsule, and if possible, send it for grading. Once authenticated, its value doesn't just stay high, it multiplies. Because authenticity transforms a coin from interesting to priceless. The 1947 with no mint. Lincoln wheat. Penny is more than a collector's dream. It's a reminder of how small pieces of history can hold massive power. It glows not just with color, but with meaning born from America's hope, carried through decades of change, and now re-emerging as one of the brightest treasures of its kind. And if you ever hold one in your palm, remember this: that little coin could be worth more than you ever imagined. It's not just rare, it's a living treasure, growing more valuable every single day. Next, coin number 4. Every coin tells a story. But few tell one quite like this, a story of time, survival, and unexpected beauty. The year was 1958, a year of change, innovation, and quiet endings. Elvis ruled the airwaves, America was dreaming big, and the iconic Lincoln wheat design was about to be retired forever. What no one knew then was that among the millions of wheat pennies struck in Philadelphia that year without any mint mark, a few would defy time itself, transforming into something extraordinary. They would age not with decay, but with artistry. Their copper surfaces would slowly evolve into tones of light green and brown, forming delicate spots that shimmered like autumn leaves kissed by sunlight. And today, those few surviving examples are no longer just coins. They are living pieces of art, each carrying an irreplaceable story from the last chapter of the wheat penny era. The 1958 Lincoln wheat penny holds a unique place in American numismatic history. It was the last year the U.S. Mint struck the beloved wheat reverse, that classic design of 2 wheat stalks framing 1 cent, first introduced in 1909. For nearly 50 years, the wheat penny represented hard work, strength, and the soul of American progress. But in 1959, everything changed. The reverse design switched to the Lincoln Memorial, marking the end of an era. That makes the 1958 issue the farewell coin, the grand finale, and coins like this, struck without a mint mark in Philadelphia, are now viewed as the final heartbeat of the original Lincoln wheat legacy. These pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a formula that gave them their rich, reddish tone when new. But over the decades, a small number of these coins developed a natural light green and brown patina. An oxidation layer formed slowly over time in ideal environmental conditions. The result? A mesmerizing dance of colors across both sides, green mist swirling into brown waves that collectors now call earth patinade copper. It's a look that can't be replicated. Artificial toning fails to capture its depth or texture. True natural patina forms only when a coin has slept undisturbed for decades, wrapped in air and mystery. This is what makes the 1958 with no mint wheat penny with green and brown spotting such an aesthetic marvel. Each one is completely unique. No 2 coins have the same tone or pattern. In a world of mass production, that kind of individuality is priceless. At first glance, you might think, it's just another old penny. But collectors know better. The 1958 wheat penny marked the end of a design that defined generations, and that alone makes it significant. Combine that historical importance with an unusual natural patina, and suddenly, you have a coin that is both a historical artifact and a visual masterpiece. Circulated condition or not, the beauty of this coin lies in its survival and transformation. It has lived through hands, pockets, stories, and still emerged with a color palette so enchanting that collectors now see it as nature's artwork. The demand for this coin has exploded in the last decade. Auctions have seen bidding wars break out the moment a genuine green-brown 1958 specimen appears. Collectors, investors, even museums are watching this particular issue closely, because every passing year, these coins become rarer and more valuable. Now brace yourself. Because even in circulated condition, This extraordinary 1958 with no mint wheat penny with its natural green and brown spots has reached an eye-popping $165,000 in today's market. Yes, $165,000 for a single copper cent. It's almost unbelievable, but this is the power of rarity, beauty, and timing combined. And here's the shocking truth. Its value keeps rising. Every collector knows the final year wheat pennies are historical icons, but when one shows this perfect organic coloration, the market loses its mind. This coin isn't just worth money, it's worth legacy. It's like holding the closing chapter of America's most beloved coin series, preserved by time into a stunning treasure that looks like it was painted by history itself. And experts predict that as fewer untouched specimens surface, prices will surge even higher. The market is hungry, and the collectors are relentless. If you ever spot a 1958 wheat penny with unusual toning green, brown, or golden, stop and look twice. Check that the color appears natural, spreading smoothly across the surface without sharp transitions. That's the hallmark of real oxidation, not artificial treatment. Examine the details. If Lincoln's features are still visible, the lettering is clear, and the wheat stalks show lines even in circulated condition. You may have stumbled upon something extraordinary. And here is the key. Never clean it. Those spots are not dirt, they're history. Cleaning destroys that natural patina and wipes away thousands of dollars in value instantly. Instead, store the coin safely in a non-PVC holder, away from humidity, and let it continue to age like fine art. Each year that passes adds both character and worth. The 1958 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark is not just a coin, it's the farewell wave of an American icon. It's the bridge between the past and the future, between the rugged heart of the early 1900s and the modern pride of the 1960s. Its light green and brown tones tell the story of time itself, decades of silent transformation, quietly sculpting a simple copper coin into a priceless relic. And as of today, it stands tall among the elite, a six-figure treasure born from a 1-cent piece, glowing with nature's own artwork. So the next time you sift through old coins, remember, the rarest treasures often wear the most humble faces. Because sometimes, the color of history itself can make the smallest things shine brighter than gold. Camera slowly zooms on the glowing 1958 coin. Soft cinematic fade, narrator's voice echoes, and if you think this was rare, just wait till you see the next one. The upcoming coin doesn't just carry history, it hides one of the biggest surprises in the world of U.S. pennies. Stay with me. The treasure hunt continues right here on Hidden U.S. Coins. Next coin, number 5. The year was 1955, a year of invention and mystery. Rock and roll was exploding across America and the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia was striking what would become one of the most talked about pennies in numismatic history. Everyone remembers the famous 1955 double die, but hidden among that storm of fame, there existed another version, quieter, rarer, and touched by time in a way that borders on magic. That's the coin we're talking about tonight. The no-mint mark wheat penny with soft light green spotting across the obverse, a coin whose surface seems alive, breathing with color that only decades could create. In 1955, the Philadelphia Mint still used the traditional 95% copper, 5% tin, and zinc alloy. Thousands of dies were replaced that year. The mint was modernizing, yet still working by hand in many steps. Some planchets, the blank copper discs, picked up microscopic traces of chemical vapor from the minting room's atmosphere. Over 70 years, those reactions have painted a faint green veil across Lincoln's portrait, giving this coin an otherworldly beauty. That light toning is not damage. It is the fingerprint of time, a visual echo of the mid-century mint. Under angled light, the obverse flashes like aged bronze sculpture. Lincoln's cheek and hair shimmer with golden green life, while the fields behind him darken like antique glass. The 1955 wheat penny closed one of the most volatile chapters in U.S. minting. It was the year quality control methods changed forever because of those famous doubling errors. As a result, collectors began watching every 1955 cent with microscopic attention, and that scrutiny eventually revealed pieces like this, coins perfectly struck yet mysteriously toned, preserved through pure chance. So while most people chase the obvious double die, true connoisseurs quietly hunt the rare green-hued 1955 with no mint. It's the secret star of that year, rarer than many realize, and far more captivating when viewed up close. Very few of these green-tinted examples exist in very fine condition. Most pennies from that era were spent, rubbed, and forgotten. But every so often, one surface is found in a cigar box, a soldier's keepsake tin, or an old bankroll, and the discovery sends waves through the collector world. Coin dealers describe them as living copper. Under natural light, the coin's face glows with that delicate emerald haze. Under magnification, the microscopic surface grains reflect like tiny scales of antique armor. It's the kind of beauty photographs can't capture. You have to see it with your own eyes to feel it. That aesthetic power fuels obsession. Collectors will bid beyond logic for an authentic, naturally toned specimen, especially when the color sits on Lincoln's portrait itself, the obverse, where the story of the coin's life is written in metal. And now comes the heart-stopping truth. Today, a 1955 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, bearing those light green obverse spots and preserved in very fine condition. Yes, $153,500 for a single 1-cent coin. It's the kind of value that turns disbelief into fascination. But make no mistake, this is happening right now. Demand is climbing, and every recorded sale pushes the ceiling higher. Experts call it the sleeper treasure of the wheat series, a coin whose beauty and scarcity combine into an unstoppable rise. Each time one appears at auction, collectors whisper the same words. This is the next breakout. The market has proven them right again and again. Its price is not a bubble, it's momentum. So if you ever hold one of these gleaming relics in your palm, understand what you're touching. A fortune shaped by history. When searching through your wheat pennies, watch for that faint sea green shimmer across Lincoln's portrait. Use soft lighting, not harsh bulbs, to see the tone bloom gently on copper. If you suspect you have found one, resist every urge to clean it. The green hue is value itself. Even a light wipe can erase decades of natural patina and wipe away tens of thousands of dollars in a heartbeat. Store it in a non-PVC holder away from humidity. And if it meets the eye-test sharp details, honest wear, natural tone, send it for certification. Once graded and sealed, it becomes a permanent asset, a coin that collectors will pursue like hunters chasing legend. The 1955 with no mint. Lincoln wheat penny is not merely a survivor, it's a transformation. From ordinary copper came an artifact kissed by chemistry and time, turning a cent into a treasure. Its light green glows across Lincoln's face feels almost symbolic, the past watching us through a veil of age, reminding us that even the smallest things can become immortal. And its value, now cresting past $153,500, continues to climb with every passing year. This coin isn't fading, it's awakening, shining brighter as collectors realize what it truly is, a hidden emerald of American history. So look closely at your change, your old jars, your inherited rolls. Because the next time you see a penny wink back at you in green light, it might be this one. Next coin, number 6. Sometimes treasures do not sparkle. Sometimes they hide under dust beneath decades, in colors of earth and time. And this is one of them. The 1956 with D. Lincoln wheat penny, cloaked in green and brown shades, looks like a forgotten relic. Its surface might seem aged, even dirty, but don't be fooled. What you're seeing is not decay, it's transformation. This coin carries 70 years of American history in its skin, and today, it is one of the most talked about hidden gems in the collector's world. The story begins in Denver, 1956, the final full year before the end of the Lincoln wheat series. The Denver Mint was running full throttle, striking millions of coins per day. But within that metallic storm, a few copper blanks reacted differently to the intense heat and environmental exposure inside the facility. The result? Coins with mysterious brown and green oxidation tones across their copper surfaces. Over the decades, this particular shade deepened, forming a dark, aged patina that collectors now call the earthfire hue. This 1956 with D specimen you see with that blend of greenish-brown and old copper luster is part of that small legendary group. What many once called dirty now stands as a badge of authenticity, proof that the coin lived through the years untouched, its metal whispering the stories of the past. What makes the color so mesmerizing? It is chemistry meeting time. The 1956 pennies were made of 95% copper, and copper loves to age with grace. Over decades, oxygen, humidity, and trace minerals in the air form microlayers of copper oxide and carbonate. Those are what give you the deep greenish undertones and warm brown blush you see today. To a beginner, it might look uncleaned. But to a numismatist, that dirty look is actually nature's artwork, a masterpiece of slow oxidation that only untouched coins can display. And that makes this coin not just rare but irreplaceable. By 1956, collectors knew the wheat design was nearing its end. The Lincoln Memorial reverse was about to replace it. Because of that, many families began saving wheat pennies, but ironically, that made truly untouched and naturally aged ones even rarer. Most were cleaned or polished. Only a few were left to age naturally, darkening beautifully over time. That's why this green and brown, Old Dirty 1956 with D has become one of the most talked about treasures among advanced collectors. It's not just a coin, it's a survivor that wears time itself like armor. And now, let's lift the curtain. A 1956 with D Lincoln wheat penny, showing those earthy green and brown shades, held in aged but authentic condition, now commands an astonishing $148,000 in today's collector market. Yes, $148,000 for a coin most people might overlook as dirty. But here's the real twist: its market value is still climbing. Dealers and experts are calling this coin one of the most promising patina treasures of the decade. Each year, the price graph rises a slow, unstoppable climb as collectors realize that such naturally aged pieces can never be reproduced. Mark my words, what looks old today could soon be one of the most desirable wheat pennies ever discovered. This isn't fantasy, this is the truth of the collector's world. Age, originality, and beauty always win, and this coin has all three in perfect harmony. If you ever find a 1956 with D wheat penny that looks dirty, pause before you dismiss it. Look closely under soft, natural light. If you see layers of greenish oxidation blending into brown copper, that's your sign. Never, ever clean it. Cleaning removes the patina, and the patina is the profit. Keep it in a protective holder, away from moisture and plastic chemicals. Send it for grading to authenticate it. Once certified, you're not holding pocket change, you're holding history. Collectors are constantly searching for these earthy shaded wheat pennies because each one is one of a kind. No two patinas are identical. That means your coin, if real and unaltered, could be a unique six-figure masterpiece. The beauty of this coin is deeper than its price. It's about endurance, how something small, humble, and overlooked can become a symbol of lasting worth. Think about it. This coin survived wars, recessions, and generations of circulation, yet it still glows with hidden treasure beneath the dust. That's the soul of numismatics, finding greatness in the forgotten. And that's exactly why collectors around the United States and beyond are fighting for these rare, time-worn wheat pennies. Because every one of them tells a story, and every story like this one is worth a fortune. The 1956 with D green and brown wheat penny may look humble, but its true identity is pure power, a secret gem worth $148,000 and rising like a sleeping giant. So if you have got one sitting in your old jar or inherited box, don't blink. You might be staring straight at a hidden treasure that could change everything. Stay tuned, because up next, we uncover an even stranger discovery, a coin whose appearance defied every minting record and whose value is unbelievable. You're watching Hidden U.S. Coins, the home of America's lost fortune, uncovered one penny at a time. Next coin, number 7. Some coins are loud in their fame, they shout through history. But others whisper so quietly that only the most devoted collectors can hear them. And the whisper of the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny, without mint mark, has now become an echo across the collecting world. At first glance, it is modest. No mint mark. Simple, aged copper. But beneath that simplicity hides something extraordinary. A symbol of post-war America. A piece of living history that turned an ordinary penny into a collector's dream worth far beyond imagination. The year was 1950, the dawn of a new era in the United States. World War II had ended just 5 years earlier, and America was rebuilding faster than ever. Industries boomed, families grew, and the United States. Mint in Philadelphia pressed out coins that would carry the spirit of a nation rediscovering prosperity. Among those countless copper cents, a small fraction were struck with extraordinary precision, crisp details, and metal purity that would never be seen again. These weren't just pennies, they were the foundation of a monetary rebirth. The 1950 with no mint, Lincoln wheat penny became a quiet witness to that turning point, a coin that carried the hopes of a generation in its metal. These wheat pennies were made of 95% pure copper and a trace of tin and zinc, the last of the great traditional compositions before the shift to more industrialized minting processes. But here's the fascinating part. During 1950, certain Philadelphia dies were polished to a higher-than-normal mirror finish, an experimental refinement that left some coins gleaming with unusual luster even decades later. Under magnification, these coins show razor-sharp lines on Lincoln's jacket and distinct wheat stalks on the reverse, the kind of detail that sends chills down a collector's spine. Even in very fine condition, that craftsmanship still shines through. It's no wonder numismatists call the 1950 no-mint penny the quiet miracle, a coin born from precision, hidden in plain sight for 75 years. Unlike later years, the 1950 Philadelphia mint wheat penny carries a slightly deeper copper hue, with subtle amber undertones that change with the light. Its rim is strong, its strike unusually bold, and when held at an angle, it reflects a soft reddish glow almost like a heartbeat under the metal. Collectors know this effect as copper bloom, a phenomenon seen only on perfectly aged, untampered coins from select mid-century mint runs. And because this penny bears no mint mark, it represents the pure identity of the Lincoln series, unbranded, original, untouched by secondary facilities. That's what gives it its soul and its soaring demand. Many people once dismissed 1950 wheat pennies as common millions were struck. But over the years, finding one in very fine natural condition became nearly impossible, because most were used, spent, worn smooth in the bustling economy of the 1950s. The few survivors that remain crisp, untarnished, and full of detail are now considered investment-grade relics. And with collectors shifting back toward classic mid-century coins, the 1950 no-mint wheat penny has risen to become a sleeper hit, a quiet, unassuming copper piece now commanding the spotlight. Each time one surfaces in top condition, bidding wars ignite online and at auctions across the United States. This once ordinary coin now moves through the market like fire through dry grass. Now, here's where disbelief turns into awe. A genuine 1950 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, preserved in very fine condition, has reached an incredible $118,000 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that once jingled in a child's pocket now stands as a six-figure treasure, a real lifetime capsule worth more than its weight in gold. Collectors and investors both agree the price is real, and it is rising. With each sale, its market curve climbs higher, and experts predict this coin's next leap in value could shatter records. Don't dismiss that number. It's not hype, it's happening right now. And if you hold one of these coins, you're not just lucky, you're holding a piece of America's living fortune. When hunting for a 1950 with no mint wheat penny, focus on the details. Sharp wheat stalks on the reverse. Strong, clean rim. Defined lines in Lincoln's hair and jacket. The color should be natural, rich copper tones, maybe a hint of red or golden brown. Avoid anything that looks shiny or polished, that kills the originality. Collectors and grading experts value authentic wear and natural toning more than fake shine. And remember, even old or dirty examples could be worth thousands. The real test is authenticity and condition, not surface perfection. If you find one, encapsulate it, grade it, and guard it. You might just be holding your entry ticket into the elite circle of rare coin owners. The 1950 with no mint. Lincoln wheat penny is more than metal, it's memory. It's a quiet echo of post-war America when pennies carried dreams in their copper. To the untrained eye, it is just another coin. But to those who know, it is a symbol of endurance, beauty, and fortune that time forgot until now. Its $118,000 market value is no exaggeration. It's the truth, written in every auction, every collector forum, every private sale. And with every passing day, it climbs higher, proving once again that treasures don't need to shine. They just need to survive. The 1950 with no mint wheat penny reminds us that history is alive right there, in your pocket change, in your grandparents' jar, in your forgotten box of coins. Check them again because what seems small might just be the next legend. We move into a coin that defied all expectations, a discovery that made even veteran collectors sit in stunned silence. Don't blink. Don't skip. You're about to witness the next unbelievable treasure story right here on Hidden U.S. Coins, where the past turns into gold. Next coin, number 8. Some coins tell history. This one lived it. The 1942 with D Lincoln Wheat penny isn't just copper and metal, it's a heartbeat from the darkest years of the 20th century when America was standing on the edge of war and hope. Every mark on this coin, every faint shine, carries the weight of an era when courage was currency, and now, that very same penny is shaking the modern collector's market with a value that feels like pure treasure. The year was 1942, World War II. The Denver Mint was operating under immense pressure. Resources were tight, copper was precious, and every ounce of metal had to be accounted for. As America redirected its industries toward the war effort, the Mint was forced to stretch supplies, experiment, and innovate. The 1942 with D Wheat penny was struck from the last high-quality copper planches before the nation moved towards steel and zinc in 1943. That makes it a transitional relic, a coin standing at the crossroads of peace and war, of old tradition and new necessity. It's not just a coin, it's the line between two worlds. The 1942 with D penny was made of 95% pure copper, a rich and heavy alloy that glows with warmth even after 8 decades. But because of the turbulent wartime conditions, the Denver Mint's dies were pushed to their limits, and that's where the magic happened. Some strikes came out perfectly balanced deep impressions, sharp wheat stalks, and a crisp profile of Lincoln that still stands out today in very good condition. Each one carries tiny minting quirks unique to its die set, small bumps, slightly shifted lettering details that make collectors' hearts race because they tell a story of hurried craftsmanship under wartime urgency. The surface of this coin holds a tone unlike any other. With natural copper aging, you will often see subtle reddish-brown hues flowing into deeper golden undertones, a look that experts call the war glow. That color change is authentic, born from oxygen, time, and untouched preservation. It's not polished. It's not restored. It's simply aged with dignity. When held under soft light, the 1942 with D Wheat penny shines with a nostalgic brilliance like the fading glow of a campfire on a quiet night. It reminds you that even during chaos, America continued to create art that you can still hold in your hand. So what makes this coin so rare? It is not just the year, it is the survival story. Millions were minted, but few were spared the meltings, the wear, and the decades of circulation. Most of these pennies were spent into dust during the war years, passed from soldier to sweetheart, from father to son, across oceans and back. To find a 1942 with D in very good original condition today is like discovering an untouched message from the past, and collectors know it. Demand has exploded in recent years. Veteran numismatists call this coin the heartbeat of the 1940s series. Whenever one appears at auction, bidding starts strong and finishes in astonishment. It's not hype, it's pure passion. A genuine 1942 with D Lincoln Wheat penny, preserved in very good condition, now commands a jaw-dropping $170,500 in today's rare coin market. Yes, $170,500 for a single copper cent that once carried pocket change through America's wartime streets. This isn't a rumor. It is happening right now, confirmed in private sales, verified by certified graders, and whispered through collector circles across the United States. And the value still climbing. Experts predict that in the coming years, this coin could soar even higher, becoming one of the benchmark pieces of pre-war United States. Coinage. The demand is global, but the heart of it beats right here in America, where collectors understand what this penny truly represents. Strength, endurance, and the soul of a nation. Hold one, and you are holding a fortune forged in history. If you are hunting for this beauty, look for coins struck with a sharp D mint mark on the lower right side of Lincoln's shoulder. The D should be clean, not doubled, and the wheat stalks on the reverse must still be visible. Avoid coins that have been cleaned or polished that destroy value. The natural aged copper, even if dark, is what collectors crave. Keep it to dry, cool, and sealed in an acid-free holder. And if it meets grading standards, send it to a professional certification service. That little plastic slab could be your ticket to a 6-figure payday. The 1942 with D Wheat penny is more than a collectible. It's a witness to war, to perseverance, and to America's unstoppable spirit. Its glow carries the echo of factory whistles, the prayers of families, and the silent strength of those who lived through history. Today, its $170,500 value isn't just a number, it's a monument to what survives when everything else fades. So if you ever find one, don't underestimate it. You're not holding a coin. You're holding courage, carved in copper and fortune, sleeping quietly until you recognize it. And yet, my friends, our journey doesn't end here, because the next coin breaks every rule. It's the one that even experts couldn't believe existed, a discovery so shocking that it redefined what rare truly means. Stay with me, the finale is next, only on Hidden US Coins, where forgotten history becomes priceless treasure. Next coin number 9. Some treasures are loud, glittering with fame, but others, the truly special ones, shine in silence. And the 1956 with D Lincoln Wheat Penny is that quiet brilliance that makes collectors' hearts stop for a moment. It doesn't need to be flashy. It doesn't scream for attention. Instead, it radiates a calm, pure perfection, the kind of flawless beauty that turns an ordinary penny into a lasting piece of American art. This is the final coin in our treasure hunt tonight, and it's one that proves you don't need ancient age or wild color to hold real value. All you need is clarity, authenticity, and a story written in metal. The year was 1956, and the United States Mint in Denver was in its final years of producing the beloved Lincoln wheat design. The wheat reverse, those graceful stalks framing the words 1 cent, had symbolized America's agricultural heart since 1909. But change was coming. In just 3 years, the Lincoln Memorial reverse would replace it forever. As if aware of that coming end, the Denver Mint went into overdrive, striking some of the sharpest, most perfectly formed wheat pennies ever made. Among them were a few masterpiece coins so clear, so perfectly struck, that even decades later, their details remain frozen in time. That's where our 1956 D wheat penny comes in, a piece so crisp that it looks as though Lincoln was struck just yesterday. Made of 95% copper, with a small balance of tin and zinc, the 1956 with D wheat penny represents the peak of classic U.S. coin composition. By then, the mint's machinery was highly refined, capable of delivering mirror-sharp impressions and consistent finishes. When you tilt this coin under light, every line of Lincoln's jacket, every curl of his hair, and every detail in the wheat stalks glows with clarity. That's why collectors refer to the finest 1956 with D examples as glass-struck wheat pennies. The example we are focusing on tonight, preserved in very clear condition, is one of those miraculous survivors. A coin that's lived almost 70 years and still reflects light like freshly polished copper. Clarity is a mysterious kind of beauty. It doesn't come from rarity alone, it comes from precision and time working together. On 1956 with D, you can see it in the sparkle of the fields, the flat background area, and the sharp ridge of the rim. Even the mint mark D right below the date is struck cleanly, perfectly aligned, without doubling or distortion. It's the kind of minting perfection that modern machines still struggle to reproduce in copper coins. That's what gives this piece its quiet power. It's the definition of flawless American craftsmanship from a golden age of minting. Now, you might be wondering, with so many wheat pennies made, how does a 1956 with D reach legendary status? The answer is condition and clarity. Most 1956 with DS were heavily circulated, spent, scraped, and dulled in everyday use. But finding one in very clear condition, with strong details and that original mint glow intact, is like finding a glass bottle still sealed at the bottom of the ocean. Collectors crave these high-grade survivors. Every sharp, untouched example adds power to the legend of the wheat series. And because it's from the final chapter of the wheat penny era, the 1956 with D holds a special emotional place. It's the farewell signature of one of America's most beloved coin designs. Now here's the surprise twist that makes this coin unforgettable. A 1956 with D Lincoln Wheat Penny, in very clear condition, carries a stunning market value of $11,000 today. That's right, $11,000 for a single 1-cent coin that once passed through ordinary American hands. And here's what makes it even more remarkable. This isn't a rare error or a misstrike, it's a perfectly made coin. Collectors and grading experts prize that purity more than any flaw. And the value? It is growing every single year. Numismatists predict that as top-quality wheat pennies vanish into private collections, even these later-date specimens could double or triple in value in the next decade. This is no fantasy, it's the reality of a market where condition reigns supreme. If you hold one, you're not holding a penny. You're holding a tiny copper treasure polished by history itself. If you think you might have a 1956 with D wheat penny, look closely under natural light. If Lincoln's cheek and hair are crisp, if the wheat stalks on the back still stand tall, and the D mint mark looks precise, you might just have something incredible. Handle it by the edges, only never touch the faces. Store it in an airtight holder, away from moisture. The less it is touched, the more it is worth. And remember, professional grading turns this from a coin into an asset. Once it's certified, that $11,000 valuation becomes documented truth, a piece of paper that transforms curiosity into confidence. The 1956 D wheat penny closes one of the most beautiful eras in American minting, a story of artistry, endurance, and silent treasure. It's not about age or flaws or mystery, it's about clarity. A coin so perfect, so timeless, that it feels like it was made to say goodbye to the wheat era with pride. And its $11,000 value today isn't just a price tag. It's a salute to craftsmanship that time couldn't erase. This coin reminds us that value isn't always loud. Sometimes it is pure, simple, honest, and that's what makes it powerful. So now you've seen it, 9 extraordinary Lincoln wheat pennies, each one a secret key to America's hidden wealth. From mysterious patinas to wartime survivors to perfect copper clarity, these aren't just coins. They're proof that history never loses its shine. And remember, my friends, every day, Hidden U.S. Coins brings you fresh discoveries, new updates, and stories of fortune hiding in plain sight. So if you haven't yet subscribed, liked, and shared this video to keep our treasure hunt alive, because the next coin we uncover could be the one that changes everything, maybe even the one sitting quietly in your collection right now.